Sir, shall I start first, sir?
Hello, sir.
Vachirajan, sir, shall I start first, sir? My speech?
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to day 3 of our 5-day International Online Faculty Development Program on VIKSIT BHARAT at 2047, an outlook on realizing the vision. We are deeply honored to have with us today Dr.K.JOTHI SIVAGNANAM, sir, member, full-time State Planning Commission, Tamilnadu, as our esteemed resource person. To formally begin the session, now I invite our Dr. N. Pachirajan, sir, to deliver the welcome address and introduce today's distinguished resource person. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Pakshirajan, Assistant Professor of Economics at the host institution, V.O.CHIDAMBARAM College. I am tickled pink to be invited to deliver the welcome address on day 3 of the 5-day online International Faculty Development Program, VIKSIT BHARAT by 2047, an outlook on realizing the vision. I extend my sincere welcome to our esteemed College Secretary, Mr. A.P.C.V. Chokkalingam, our respected Principal, Dr. C. Veerabahu, our beloved Head of the Department, Dr. Valli Amal, the teaching staff of our own department, as well as faculty members from our college and other institutions, PhD scholars, and other participants from diverse walks of life. When I say the name, Professor Dr. K.JOTHI SIVAGNANAM, it immediately commands your full attention. He is our today's session's resource person. I'm honored to welcome him. Welcome you, sir. He is a seasoned academic economist and a veteran policymaker with extensive experience in the State Planning Commission, Government of Tamil Nadu, a prominent researcher with over 85 publications in national and international journals and newspapers, along with 30 project reports and books. With 37 years of experience, with 37 years of with 37 years of experience, he started his teaching career at Pachiyappa College, Conjeepuram in 1987. As a full professor in the Department of Economics, University of Madras, since 2008, he has held various positions over there. In 2012, he was director in charge of the Agro-Economic Research Center, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. In 2014, he was the head of the Department of Economics. From 2015 to 2021, for 2 consecutive terms, he was a syndicate member of the University of Madras. He was also the Dean Research from 2017 to 2018. Since 2019, he has been the director in charge of the Dr. Ambedkar Center for Economic Studies. As the convener of the Syndicate Committee, University of Madras, he had managed the university administration when the Vice Chancellor was away. Since 2004, he has been associated with Tamil Nadu Planning Commission. He is now a full-time member of Tamil Nadu Planning Commission. Once again, as a representative of the Department of Economics, I welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please.
Dear Krishnan and Neela and Pakshirajan and other faculty members and management of the VOCC College and dear participants, I'm happy to join for this event to speak on fiscal federalism in India, emerging challenges. See, when Neela Devi asked for this session, I thought about this because recently the state government of Tamil Nadu has appointed a commission, inquiry commission, to go into the issues of the central-state relations in India. So, Kurian Joseph Committee. So, it is a current issue. That's why I thought we should speak on this. So, to begin with, since there are students as well as teachers, I will consider it as I will deal with as if I am dealing with a classroom. So let me first introduce about federalism. See, federalism means the government. There are mostly there are two levels of government: national government and then subnational government, and they will be doing things together. See, in the case of we have union government and state governments. So both the governments are on par with each other. So how they operate. Why we have to fiscal federalism? There are some echoes are coming. Is it others should switch off the mic, I guess? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. See, in economics, public finance, we have excellent theories to support this type of arrangement for governments. See, these governments are normally function efficiently according to our economic theories. See, public finance is based on the economic theories that support the role of government. The market we say in our principles of economics, the textbooks you would have studied the basic problems of an economy: what to produce, how to produce, to whom to produce. So all these questions are supposed to be answered by private sector. So as per the neoclassical economics, private sector will efficiently address these things. But in a public finance argument is private sector cannot produce everything. There are occasions where market may be a failure. Market cannot provide certain things. For instance, public goods. We define health, education. These are all public goods. Law and order, defense. So, the basic definition: non-excludability, non-rivalry. That is, it differs from the private good. In the case of my shirt, in the case of my shoe, which is a private good, if I consume, you cannot or others cannot consume that good because it is a private good. And if I pay the price, I will get it. If you pay the price or somebody else will pay the price or whoever pay the price will get it. That is the nature of the private good. In the case of public goods, say defense. In the case of defense, we all consume benefit out of those goods, and we all get the same quantum of benefits. So this is non-excludability. That is, we all consume your goods together, and non-rivalry. Your consumption will not reduce the quantity available for others' consumption. See, maybe I will give another illustration more than defense. Say lighthouse. In Madras, you have or any seashore, you can see the lighthouse. So lighthouse is something like a public goods. See, the benefit is available for all those who are reaching those particular seashore. Madras seashore means, port means, whoever comes to that Bay of Bengal, that side of the sea, will get benefit out of this lighthouse. And the consumption of this light by one ship will not reduce the quantity available for another ship. The same benefit can be consumed by all the ships together. So this is something, what we say, collective consumption. The public goods can be consumed collectively by all the peoples, and the benefits will not get reduced due to consumption of one person or another person. So the same quantity can be consumed by all of us. That is public good. And this cannot be provided by the private sector or market. So that's why we say market is a failure, because it's very difficult to collect the price. See, in the case of defense, market cannot provide that. Law and order, judiciary, health, education, primary education, say vaccination, COVID time, whether private sector was able to provide that vaccine? No, only government can provide. So it is a public good, because see, medicine, health care may be a private goods, but in the case of an epidemic, if you don't treat that person, if the government don't come forward to intervene and address this issue, he has the risk of spreading the disease to others. So public goods is public utilities are to stake. That's why government is coming in. So this is a public good or which a good which is we collectively consume, all of us together collectively consume, and such a goods cannot be provided by the private sector. So it is a failure. Private sector market failure. Private sector could not produce these goods. Another illustration, externality. Say primary education or education of the women, girl children. See, if a girl children in a family is educated, the benefit is not exclusively to that girl. The benefit is extended. Unintended consequences. The benefit is positive. Benefit is extended to the entire family. She can bring up the children very well. And like that, if many children, many families are get educated, women are get educated, the entire society, economy will get benefit. So it has got number of positive externalities. So market will not consider those externalities. So it is better for the government to provide public goods with a high level of positive externality. So that is also another reason for the intervention of the government. So other than the market. Similarly, there are negative externalities. Other than the positive externality, negative externalities are there. Clean air, pollution, industry. Thoothukudi, what happened to Thoothukudi? A private firm is running a business for profit. But the effluent releases, the environmental and other risks he has created affects the other people, and which he is refusing to address it. So government intervenes and regulates it. So it is another negative externality. So private sector, somebody A is producing and selling something to B, whereas C, the third person, public, who is no way connected in this transaction between A and B, get affected. And A is not bothered and even B is not bothered about the negative impact on C. So that is where government should intervene and correct this negative externality. And there are various other ways, means, and they can do it. So just I am listing out. These are all the public goods externality, or what we say in general, allocation function. See, the basic principles of economics I told you. That book addresses three issues, or any economy needs to address three issues. Allocation problem. The society's resources have to be allocated to the production of goods and services. Production of various goods and services, that has to be done efficiently. So in this case, private sector cannot provide everything. It's a failure. That's why government should come forward and provide public goods, social goods. Social goods is another category where if the elected government thinks that their citizens should consume certain basic goods at a minimum level, they can provide it. For instance, PDS. The PDS, the state government provides rice and other pulses, millets. So many things are being provided in the PDS. Similarly, we provide midday meals. So these things are being provided by the elected government because they think that their citizens should consume these things, certain minimum, health, education, food. So such a things should be guaranteed to the citizens. The elected government thinks. So in that context, from the perspective of the elected government, they are all called the social goods. So public goods and social goods cannot be provided, and the externalities, negative externality as well as a positive externality, cannot be addressed by the market. That's why we say it is a market failure. So when the market fails, government should intervene and provide those things. That is the context where the role of government. We argue for the role of government in an economy, market economy. Our public finance argues for the role of government in a market economy with these arguments. And this is economic argument. Similarly, there are also political arguments. We will see that later. See, this is this is the argument given by public finance for the role of government, as government is not a single monolithic entity. As I said, in federal arrangement, in federal systems, almost 50% of the world population or countries in the world are under one or other forms of federal arrangement or federal country. More than half of our world population is under federal arrangement or federal countries. So given that, it is not a one single government. Take in the case of India, we have one government, union government at Delhi. Then there are several state governments, and below that state government, we have got urban and rural local government. So we have a vertically hierarchical arrangement for different levels of government. In this arrangement, the union government and the state governments are the most prominent. And in the constitution, we have assigned several functions to the union government. Similarly, several functions to the state government. Expenditure function. Functions means expenditure function. What are all the expenditures the union government should incur? What are all the expenditures the state government should incur? So that has been assigned in the constitution. It is called the state list, union list, and the concurrent list, where both the government will spend money. So this is the arrangement. Through constitution, we have defined it. So it is not a single government. So generally, when we say government, we think that it is a single monolithic entity. That is not the case. Here we have got a hierarchically structured government. So why we have to make this arrangement? See, the role of government we have defined in terms of public goods externality. What is the rationale for this type of arrangement, a federal arrangement or fiscal federal arrangement? Why we have to split the functions between different layers of government? So that is where theories of fiscal federalism comes into picture. The theories of fiscal federalism or the theories of decentralization argues that it is always better to decentralize economic functions. Public goods, every public goods may not have the same benefit regions. The benefit regions, Musgrave argued that a layer cake model, where his argument is the benefits of different public goods are different. If the benefits of all the public goods are same, all the public goods can be provided by one single government. But that is not the case. Say in the case of the benefit regions of different public goods are different. Say in the case of defense, the benefit region is the entire country. The entire country benefits out of our defense. What about a library, small village library? So only people living in and around the village will get benefit out of that library. Say a street light, or a street, or a park, or a small swimming pool, or a toilet. So these things are the benefit region of these public goods may be our small schools. These benefit regions may be confined to that local region. Similarly, a university, take Madras University. So this university may cater to the requirement of a particular region or state. So it is not national level. So the benefit regions of different public goods are different. Spatially they are different. When the benefit regions are spatially different, it is always efficient that different layers of government provide these different public goods as per their benefit region. If the benefit regions are nationwide, let it be provided by the national government. If the benefit regions are statewide, let those goods be provided by the state level government. If the benefit regions are local, let it be provided by the local government. So this is the argument of Musgrave. And another advantage of this argument is that how much a public good has to be provided, how it should be financed. So all these things can be addressed efficiently if the public goods are provided by local government or state government, because they know the preferences, what the local people need, how much they need, which public good they need, everything the local government or state government can understand easily, so they can provide according to the requirement. See, in the case of Tamilnadu, for instance, Look at the national education policy, new education policy. The new education policy, the target is increasing the gross enrollment ratio for higher education, increasing the enrollment ratio to 50% by some 2030 or 2047 something, some in future date. This we have already achieved. So why the state government should adhere to that objective? If the state government has already achieved those objectives. So you can see the difference. For instance, the union government wanted to give toilet to all the local governments, all the villages. In case a particular village already have several toilets, but they don't have access to water to make use of those toilets, their requirement is providing water facility, not the toilet. But if it is provided by the union government, they can argue that we will provide only toilet, because that is uniformly has to be provided. So it won't take into consideration of the local requirement. Similarly, another village may have toilet as well as water. They may want to have a library, but again this scheme will not provide their requirement. It will provide only a toilet. So if it is from a union government or higher level of government, it may not be able to cater to the specific requirements or specific needs of the local needs. That's why it is always efficient. Public goods should be provided at the local level or state level. If it is the case, it will always be efficient. That is the argument of this fiscal federal theories of fiscal federalism. And there are other theories, political theories. As I said, political theory argue in terms of democracy, participation. If the government, local government or state government to provide these things, they can participate in the development process and they can decide what they want. So like that, see, we have different states. Their development trajectory are different. Though most of the development trajectories are decided by the local politics, the local requirements, state level requirements. So when they are different, they may have a different developmental approach. So given this diversity, politically, when there is a diversity, when there is diverse identities in terms of culture, language, religion, like in our case, we have a mind-boggling diversity of a culture, language, identities, everything. So given such vast diversity, it is always better to have a federal arrangement. So that will be more efficient. So this is the political argument. So both the economic theories as well as the political theories argues one single argument. That argument is, if the government needs to be efficient, it should be closer to the people. If the government is closer or nearer to the people, it will always be efficient. That is the single line of argument by economic and political theories. Now, given this argument, we will see how federalism, fiscal federalism is being practiced in India. So you know very well, as I said, major nationwide functions, banking, finance, planning, money, foreign resource, foreign exchange, international trade. So such things are international policy, foreign policy. See, these things have been given to the union government in the assignment of functions. In fiscal federalism is nothing but the assignment of fiscal functions, expenditure functions, and revenue sources. The expenditure functions should be assigned to a particular level of government, every level of government. And similarly, it should also assign revenues, record revenue to perform those functions. So that is the bottom line of fiscal federalism. So in the case of India, we have made such assignment of expenditure functions as well as the assignment of revenue function in the Constitution 7th schedule, where union list, state list, and concurrent list define these lists. So what happened is, most of the nationwide functions are assigned to the union government. Most of the developmental functions like health, education, social welfare, old age, law and order, judiciary, environment. So these things are the developmental functions which are closer to the people are assigned to the state government. And you know the concurrent list where both can spend, both have powers. So what happened in India is the assignment is expenditure function. Most of the expenditure function, to put it another way, suppose we are spending 100 rupees in the country as a whole. 2/3 of the expenditure functions are assigned to the states, and 1/3 of the expenditure functions are assigned to the union government. Whereas in the case of assignment of revenue, income tax, excise tax, customs, like that, major elastic sources of revenues are assigned to the union government. Now, after GST, it is a different scenario. Before GST, most of the elastic revenue sources are assigned to the union government, and relatively lesser sources have been assigned to the state government. As a ratio, when 2/3 of the expenditure functions are assigned to the state government and 1/3 of the expenditure functions are assigned to the union government, 2/3 of the revenues are assigned to the union government, but only 1/3 of the revenue sources, sales tax, VAT, like that, or stamp duty, registration, vehicle registration, property registration tax, like that, very limited tax revenues have been assigned to the state government. So, when the state government spend 2/3 of the overall expenditure in the country, their tax sources are only 1/3. So, there is a balance. And after GST, that imbalance, this we call vertical fiscal imbalance. The union government has got more revenue sources than its expenditure commitments, whereas the state governments have got more expenditure responsibility but limited revenue sources available. To address, this is called vertical fiscal imbalance. To address this vertical fiscal imbalance, Constitution has created an institutional arrangement called the Finance Commission. The Finance Commission is supposed to all the tax revenue collected by the union government doesn't belong to the union government. They have to share it with the state government. All those revenue doesn't belong to the state union government. So the Finance Commission will decide how much of that revenue that the union government collects belongs to the union government and how much should be assigned to the state government. The Finance Commission every quinquennial year, that is 5 years, every once in 5 years, the Finance Commission will go into the finances of the union as well as state government and make a recommendation that how much the union tax revenue should be allocated to the state government. So currently we have got the 14th Finance Commission and then 15th Finance Commission. Now 16th Finance Commission is about to submit its recommendations. So as such today, 40% of the union tax revenues supposed to be assigned to the state government. So only they can spend 60% because the state government have got more expenditure responsibility. This is the institutional arrangement. Now, what happened to this institutional arrangement is recently, or it is not recent phenomena, recently the imbalance has got intensified, but all along it has been happening politically. See, if you add, I am confining to fiscal federal dimension alone. If you take federalism as a whole, we can quickly have a overview of the federalism in the country since 1950s, post-independence. Up to 1990s, you can see a process of centralization. Up to 1990, it was after post-independence, Congress was the ruling government. Even in many state governments also, Congress was the ruling government. As a union as well as states, the Congress was the single ruling government. So given that, they were able to centralize. Nehru centralized it. Hello?
சூப்பர் மீடியா
சார்
இல்ல இடையில டிஸ்ட்ரக்டட் வருது.
சூப்பர். ஏங்க இத்தனை நேரத்தை போட்டீங்க உங்க டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் போட
சார் ப்ளீஸ் ஆன்
Srikanth sir, please mute your mic, sir. Srikanth sir, please mute your mic, sir. Srikanth sir, Krishnan sir, please mute Srikanth sir mic, sir.
Muted.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
Oh, it's okay.
You please
Sir,
continue.
sir, please continue, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir. So from 1950 onwards, Congress centralized powers in the Congress party. Nehru centralized powers in the Congress party. After him, Indira Gandhi centralized powers in her person. So up to 90, we have witnessed a centralization of powers in Indian federalism. It is because a single ruling party was both in the union government as well as in the state government. Many states were ruled by Congress government, except one or two like West Bengal, Tamilnadu, Kerala, like that. So they were able to centralize. But post 90, after introducing new economic reform policies, the powers have been decentralized. Both politically, post 90, we have witnessed a political as well as economic decentralization of powers in India. Political decentralization, you know very well. The Congress lost its single party majority, so it became a multi-party coalition government. Post 90s, after VP Singh government, it became even Janata government was there briefly, but again Congress returned to power. After that, after VP Singh government, it is a coalition government where regional parties joined together and
Muted, sir. Muted. You please continue, sir.
So,
You please continue, sir. Muted.
Okay. So regional government started forming a coalition government for that lasted for 25 years. From 1990 onwards, almost for 2014 until 2014, we were ruled by coalition government. So it was a political decentralization that reflected the federal character of the Indian society also. So we are diverse and federal in nature, and such a federal character of our society has been reflected in the coalition government. So the 25 years, powers have been decentralized. State governments become used to decide. They take part in the union ministries and they decided several things. Similarly, economic liberalization taken place. The policy liberalization, new economic policy reforms was introduced, and that reform reduced the economic power, economic centralization of the union government. For instance, the first decentralization, economic decentralization was the industrial licensing policy. After the new liberalization policy, the industrial licensing policy of the union government in 50s, when the planning was started, the planning commission used to decide where to invest, how to invest, how much to invest, which goods to be produced. Everything was decided by the planning commission, centralized decision making. Whereas post 90, when the industrial licensing policy was withdrawn or lifted, suddenly the state government became more powerful. So state chief ministers started campaigning for investment. For instance, West Bengal chief minister is ruled by left government, supposed to be against capitalistic enterprise or capitalism, but he campaigned for private investment for West Bengal. He went abroad and campaigned for Jyoti Basu campaign. Similarly, Chandrababu Naidu, our state. So every state started competing with each other to attract private investment, and they decided investment instead of the planning commission or union government or central government. The state government started deciding this type of investment, and they provided facilities, land, water, other infrastructure, other supports to the private investment. So they started competing with each other and they started deciding. So like that, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. So FRBM Act was introduced in 2003. That again reduced the powers of the central government, because the central government cannot borrow much. This legislation is based on public choice economics. The public choice, public finance is one approach. Public choice is another approach. In the case of public choice, in the case of public finance, we assume, the basic assumption is governments are benevolent. They are supposed to do good things. Based on that assumption, we discuss about fiscal policy. What should be the fiscal policy? How growth can be maximized? How stability distribution can be achieved? So we discuss these policies assuming that the government is benevolent. But the public choice approach questions this basic assumption, whether government is really benevolent. The participants of the government, like a politician, bureaucrats, or even we as voter and citizens, we all driven by self-interest. The participants in a democratic system are all politicians, bureaucrats, voters, citizens are all individuals, and they are driven by self-interest. When that is the assumption, when we assume that we are all driven by self-interest, where is the guarantee that our self-interest will deliver public interest or public good? So the public choice economics argue, Buchanan and others developed this. They argue that governments are driven by, run by individuals who are self-interested. Therefore, to ensure public interest, we have to put a constitutional limit on their behavior. Government cannot be given unlimited power, unrestrained power, particularly in fiscal matters. Through constitution, we have to put restraint on their behavior. For instance, what is FRBM is saying? FRBM, budget making. See, budget making is a responsibility of the elected state government. How much they have to spend, how to collect revenue, to what expenditure, to which subject they have to spend, make expenditure, everything, either the assembly or parliament can decide, no doubt. But what the FRBM says, public choice economist says, is we should put a restraint on their behavior. What are the FRBM targets? You borrow anything, you spend anything, but your borrowing limit should be within 3% of the GDP or GSDP. If it is union government, you cannot borrow more than 3%. Similarly, if you borrow, you cannot spend it for capital revenue expenditure. Your borrowing should be only for capital expenditure. That means your revenue deficit should be zero. You can borrow, which should be 3% of the GDP or GSDP, but you cannot borrow to meet your revenue expenditure. And then your debt level, public debt level, say all the fiscal deficit put together is the public debt. So your public debt, if it is union government, should be 40% of the GDP. If it is state government, it should be 20% of the GDP. So this is the FRBM, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, which is based on the public choice pool. Now this has reduced the size of the union government. After introducing this, the union government power got decentralized to some extent, because they cannot unlimitedly borrow. Their borrowing limit has been fixed, and they cannot borrow for revenue expenditure to meet the revenue expenditure. So these limitations again decentralized powers of the union government to state level. So these are all the decentralizations happened in 1990, from 1990 up to 2014. There are several things. For limited time, for want of time, I make it shorter. Now post 2014, what happened? Again a single party. See, what we have seen between 1990s and 2014 is decentralization, both on economic as well as fiscal front and political front. Fiscally, FRBM Act decentralized. Our feelings on debt and borrowing has reduced the size of the union government expenditure or budget itself. Similarly, the liberalization has reduced the economic centralization of the union government. State governments become more powerful. Whereas after 2014, all this decentralization of 25 years from 1990 to 2014 happened because of the coalition government, not a single government, and because of the economic liberalization policies. Whereas post 2014, again a single party majority formed a government in the union government. BJP government gained a single party majority. When the single party majority returned, again centralization started returning. So from 2014 onwards, we are seeing centralization process again. So let me give some illustrations. First thing, the new government, when the BJP government formed in 2014, the first thing they did is they closed the planning commission. Planning commission, we have number of objections, that is okay, but still the planning commission was established under the scope of an article 282. The Constitution, Article 282 says that though we have assigned specific expenditure function to the union government as well as state government and to the concurrent list, the Article 282 says, hello? Article 282 says that for any public purpose, any government can spend money for any public purpose. That's what Article 282 says. Based on that, the Planning Commission is created and they started spending on health, education. Of course, it is a state subject. Poverty eradication, health, social welfare, women's development, rural development. All these subjects are state subjects. And they started, the Planning Commission started spending money. But anyway, it was a fiscal decentralization because for those schemes, the union government used to transfer money to the state government. So that benefit happened. But in 2014, the union government closed the planning commission. When the planning commission is closed, 1/3 of the union transfers made to the state government has come down, has been withdrawn. So that is the first centralization. After 2014, when we closed the planning commission, what happened? The fiscal transfers to the states have been cut down to that extent. And then allocation for social sector, health, education has been reduced. And now some of the schemes, see, not all the schemes are closed. Some of the popular schemes like 100-day employment guarantee schemes, health schemes, school education, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, they have changed the name, but still the scheme is being continued. So for all those schemes, the transfers from the union government has been done based on a formula, Gadgil formula. Now that Gadgil formula is not there. Planning commission is closed. Since the planning commission is closed, there is no formula-based allocation. The union government can decide. It can decide how much should be allotted to a particular state government. It was decided unilaterally by the union government. So there is an element of discretion. So whenever you can see, whenever there are elections in any state, the union government increase the allocation for under PDS, increase the allocation under 100-day rural employment guarantee schemes, and they provide central sector schemes like metro and many other things are expenditures are being made, and to some extent the government even openly says it is a double engine sarkar. That means if you elect the ruling government in the state also, we can support, fiscally we can support, and we can provide more schemes and other things like what is being provided to Uttar Pradesh or Gujarat or Bihar and Andhra Pradesh because of the support. So this is being openly campaigned and which is against the spirit of federalism, and this is an element of centralization also. So this type of centralization, when the planning commission is closed and the formula-based allocation is withdrawn and the discretionary transfers are taking place, it is nothing but a centralization, fiscal centralization. And again, NDC, another advantage of planning commission was National Development Council was the only forum where the state chief minister and the prime minister can sit together and discuss on par with each other. Not in a hierarchical fashion happens as of now. They can sit together on par with each other and discuss about the schemes and the national development. So this NDC, forum of NDC become a federal institution where the union and the state can discuss together. And the prime minister and the CMs meet on par with each other, equal footing. Because see, our federalism means the sovereignty is divided. You know, our sovereignty, constitution is sovereign. From where the constitution derives its sovereignty? From the people. So people are sovereign. People give the sovereign power to the constitution. In a federal arrangement, the sovereignty is divided because people elect two levels of government. One is the union government, where we elect MPs and they form the government in the parliament. And similarly, in every state, in the legislatures, in the state assembly, chief ministers are elected. So both the prime minister as well as the chief ministers are elected by the people. So that is why we say our sovereignty is divided between union and the state government. Even it is the union government is not central government as we ensure as the state government, as the government of people in Tamil Nadu wanted to insist always. It is union government. It is not a central government. There is no word like central government in the constitution. It is union of states. So when it is union of states, what is being emphasized? This is federalism. One of the basic character of our constitution is federalism. So federalism is being emphasized and divided sovereignty is being emphasized. But there is no institutional arrangement for the state government and the union government to sit and discuss with each other. There is one institutional arrangement called Interstate Council that never meets because it become a department under the Home Ministry. When it become a department under the Home Ministry, how can it be impartial and how the CM and the PM can meet on equal footing? So that is where NDC provided an opportunity to meet, to bring the union government as well as state government together on a even platform. Now that is closed because of the planning commission is closed. And the transfer become discretionary. It is not a formula based. So these are all the immediate centralization happened after 2014. Now demonetization. The demonetization again, as I said, most of the developmental functions are assigned to the state government. Health, education, rural development, agriculture, agricultural input. So number of things are law and order. Everything is allotted to the state government. But here is an announcement, demonetization, which has got a serious ramification on the development of the states. And that type of measure has been announced without consulting the state government. State governments have not been consulted. Even the RBI was not consulted when announcing the demonetization. But it has got a serious implication on the development role of the state and the development of the entire country. So the way in which it is announced cannot be, it is highly centralized decision making. So the then RBI governor have opposed it, but they have not, within the meeting, MPC committee, they have discussed it. It appeared in the media, but it is a highly centralizing policy announcement. And next, it has a serious impact. See, being a centralized measure of centralization is one thing, and another thing is its impact on the economy, state economy. Many economies, small scale industries, agriculture, rural sectors have been damaged, demolished by this single announcement. And Manmohan Singh, you know how seriously he criticizes a monumental blunder and organized loot. So these are the extreme words Manmohan Singh has used to describe this type of centralized measures. And then GST. GST, no doubt, GST is a reform. We bring number of indirect taxes levied by the union government as well as the state government into one single tax. I read somewhere that it's about some 31 taxes or something like that, both levied by union government as well as state government. So instead of levying those 31 taxes, we brought it to a single tax. But originally it was not a single tax. So basically it is a reform, very good reform, no doubt. But the state government did not agree for this reform for many, many years. More than 10 years, the state government did not agree for this reform because both the union government and state government knows very well that once this reform is introduced, the state government will lose their revenue. They will lose their revenue, they know very well. Because of that, they refuse to accept this reform. But this government gave a guarantee, whatever be the loss of revenue, we will compensate. We will compensate. They agreed. So the state government agreed. When they computed the tax, the level of tax revenues that we collect from the taxes subsumed under GST, it was growing 14%. Before the announcement of GST, earlier, the taxes brought under GST has been growing around 14%. So the union government promised that we will compensate if the GST has not delivered 14% growth in the tax revenue. So that was the promise, and they compensated for 5 years. After that, they have stopped. Even now, that has not reached that level. 14% has not been reached. Forget about 14%. Even the tax GSDP ratio, for instance, Tamilnadu. What is the tax GSDP ratio before the implementation of the GST? Even that level has not been attained even now. Even now, we have not reached that level. So, the state government believed the promises of the union government, based on which they have agreed, but they have lost their revenue. These are the sales tax and VAT are some of the only taxes which is available for the state government. So accepting GST means giving their fiscal autonomy. They agreed to sacrifice their fiscal autonomy, believing that the revenue will not get reduced. It will be compensated. But their revenue get reduced, but they are not being compensated. So the net result, the state government lost their fiscal autonomy as well as the fiscal revenue from those taxes because of GST. So it is another centralization. It was conveyed to everyone that one vote for one state. But it is the union government. Union government has got 1/3 voting rights. So with that 1/3 voting right and BJP ruled, more number of BJP ruled states, the union government decision is final in the GST council. The state government would not decide any of the things in their interest. Even the compensation, extension of this GST compensation due to the loss of revenue cannot be brought under the discussion, even cannot be brought under the agenda of the GST council. So that is the way the democratic functioning of GST council is taking place. It is fully controlled and centralized by the union government or the finance ministry. And transfer, coming to finance commission transfer, the centralization is complete because the 14th finance commission has awarded 40% of the tax revenue to the union government, but the union government has brought it to 31% by way of increasing cess and surcharges. Cess and surcharges are taxes levied, taxes or charges levied on top of the existing taxes, and that amount should be spent specifically for a specific expenditure commitment. For instance, education cess. That amount should be spent only for education purpose, but that is not happening. That is another thing. But the union government found a way to avoid the devolution of tax revenue to the state government by increasing the cess and surcharges. So the cess and surcharges are continuously being increased to the extent that the overall devolution to the state government has been reduced from 40% to 30%. So 10% is taken away by cess and surcharges. That is another way of centralization, fiscal centralization happening during the last 10 years. Yet another way of centralization is grants in aid. The Finance Commission is as per the Constitution, Finance Commission is supposed to give not only tax share, but grants in aid for various requirements, deficit grant, disaster relief, local government. So like that, for various reasons, the grants in aid should be given. But during the last 10 years, the size of the grants in aid has been reduced completely. So the fiscal transfer as such has been reduced. I have computed, it has been reduced for Tamil Nadu. See, Tamil Nadu and other southern states have got double whammy. That is, the general centralization, fiscal centralization has been resulting in lesser revenue to all states put together. Within that, the developed states like Tamil Nadu and the southern states are losing because of their performance. See, for instance, population and our development, fertility. Our fertility is coming down because of our development. Our per capita income is increasing because of our development. Now, on both the counts, if your per capita income is higher and if your population is lower, you will get lower transfer from the Finance Commission. So, other than the fiscal centralization, the Finance Commission transfer as such is tilted against the interest of the developed states like Tamil Nadu. So, in all these fiscal centralizations are happening during the last 10 years. In addition, there are several laws, acts. Parliament has passed several acts like Farm Act, agricultural legislation, 3 laws. So farmers agitated against that. Most of them are on the state subject. So the union government has enacted roughly about 20-25 acts recently. I mean, during the last 10 years have been enacted, which are all the subjects of the state government. So the union government enacts various laws which comes under and subjects which comes under the state list. For instance, education policy. See, education, higher education may be in the concurrent list. School education, primary education are purely the state subject, and education all along has been the state subject. So union government enacts a law on the state subject, various state subjects: agriculture, environment, cooperation, education, marine, fishing. So like that, many subjects which are state subjects in which the union government enacts law. So this is another type of centralization. So all these centralizations are happening. As I said, there are 2 types of centralization happening. Political centralization. We have elected one single party majority. We have given majority to one single political party. That is a reversal of the coalition government of 25 years from 1990 to 2014. And similarly, on fiscal and economic and even on administrative matters, there is a continuous centralization is taking place. So at this level, I stop. If you have any doubt or clarification, please.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I'm Dr. Krishnamurthy. V.O.CHIDAMBARAM college. I have one doubt. So what are the solutions for the central and state contradictions in federal finance?
See, the solutions is different. As I said, given the experience, maybe multi-party government, maybe the coalition government may be the one solution. But that is not in our hands. See, what happened in the history from 1950 until now, whenever, to put it very simply, whenever there is a single party dominated national government, there is a centralization. So the 25 years have shown that powers can be decentralized under coalition government. And that reflects, coalition government reflects our society. Coalition government reflects our federal society. The federal character of the society is being reflected in the coalition government. So interest of our diverse sections are met in a coalition government. Whereas when a single party dominates, centralization takes place.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Ramakrishnan, Faculty of Economics from Madras Christian College.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sir. Sir, the 5-year plan have made several transformation in our country. We all know that, we will agree. And the 12th 5-year plan period, it was estimated from 2012 to 2017. 12th 5-year plan period. My question here, whether the 12th plan period has completed or it was interrupted, and due to the replacement of the Planning Commission of India was replacement in the name of Niti Aayog, and after that, what happened? Our nation's the planning framework, or especially the planning era, whether it is interrupted or it's continued. We are not, as a faculty, we are not having a clarity on that. So just I want to make a little more lines.
That was my first point. Planning is closed. Planning Commission is closed. So only some of the schemes are being continued. See, Planning and Planning Commission is completely closed. And when public criticized this, they created Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is post-thought. See, when we started criticizing about the closure of the Planning and Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, they announced Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is a think tank. They said a think tank, just an advisory body. It doesn't have any fiscal power. See, it cannot spend a single rupee. So without fiscal power, they cannot plan. They can simply advise the union government. That's all. They don't have expenditure power. So they cannot make any allocation. Like the Planning Commission, they cannot make any allocation for social sector, health, education, and other things. That too formula based. But the schemes are continued. The allocations are discretionary by nature now. So no planning. No Planning Commission, no allocation for the social sectors. Formula-based allocation.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
So, good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Kathaswamy Ramanathan from lovely Professional University. Sir, I have a simple question. People used to say, expect the unexpected thing. But in the recent past, right from demonetization, you can see plenty of abnormalities, the decision taken on the other side, even including the last question he asked about the 5-year plan. Now the decision of the international parties also having great impact on our economy. Now the tariff.
You mean tariff? You mean tariff?
Yeah. See. Earlier the sensitivity may occur 20 years. The economic cycle. That 20 years. But now every year we are expecting unexpected thing because of the government policy decisions. So what will be your suggestion, sir, for a common man? Because the most affected people are common man. GST implemented, now withdrawn. Okay, they collected huge volume of money. Now for the election sake, they have withdrawn the thing. So what will be as a being an economics professor, what will be your suggestion to protect the interest of the common man to take care of their day to day?
See, this demonetization is a self-inflicted, shooting it in our own foot. See, that self-inflicted damage, so such a misadventurism should not be should not happen, should be avoided. And GST is another such a thing. So disrupted the economy. See, these measures have disrupted the normal economy. When your policy itself disrupts our economy and create unrest, how can we make suggestions? You should not do such a thing. That is the suggestion. And about the tariff, see, about the tariff and its disturbance on the economy, it may be limited because, see, we have four engines of our economy, four engines of growth: consumption, investment, consumption of all the individuals, our personal consumption, private consumption. That is the largest size, that is the largest engine of economy, more than 60%. And then private investment, companies, private sector makes investment demand. That is another engine. Government investment, that is yet another engine. And the demand from international trade is the fourth engine. And that component is limited in our case. The first three engines, the first engine is a major engine. That is not happening because there is no employment opportunities. Many are losing the employment. They don't have income, so their consumption has come down heavily. 60% of the engine is not working, and that is the reason why the next engine not working. Private investment is not coming forward. They say there is no demand for our goods and services. We are not able to utilize our capacity fully. We have unutilized capacity. One-fourth of our capacities are not utilized because we don't have demand. When there is no demand, how can we make further investment, new investment? So they are making investments. Government is under fiscal strain, enormous fiscal strain, because they have given concession to the corporate tax, and growth in general is coming down. Because of that, your tax revenue is coming down. Your debt is mounting, interest commitments are mounting. So you could not make investment. Government investment is limited. So when such a major part of the economy, 90% of your economic engine are coming down, without unable to going forward, this component, the tariff and this disturbance is very, very limited, insignificant component, minuscule component in relative terms. So all this will happen only when there is a growth and employment generation. Inflation should be contained. RBI is busy in fighting the dollar exchange rate more than the controlling inflation. RBI is busy in maintaining the stability of the rupee, because private sector have borrowed heavily from abroad in dollar terms. So exchange rate, variation in exchange rate or falling rupee will affect their debt. So like that, there are major issues in the economy. So all those things have to be addressed to address the common man problem.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think you have done a wonderful, invading. So what next is the biggest challenge for Indians? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello. Raised your hand. Do you want to ask any questions, Nupur Rai?
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir. Sir, in these difficult times of globalization, I just wanted to know from you, sir, which one is more important, like preserving diversity or maintaining integrity? Is it true, sir, that coalition governments are not able or they are not ready to take difficult decisions and can be taken only by a strong centralized government?
No, see, integrity and diversity, we always see. Our earlier slogan was unity in diversity. Unity is possible when you recognize diversity. See, our identities should be appreciated. By recognizing, by upholding our diverse culture, only you can promote unity. That was the slogan all along, right from independence. That is missing now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Is there any questions? Participants, if you are in a good position and ready, open your camera and mic, you can ask questions. Otherwise, you can send the questions through chat box. No questions, I think. Thank you, Karusami sir, Ramakrishnan sir, and participants. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you so much, sir, for your informative and thought-provoking session. It was truly enriching and offered us deep insights into the theme. Now I request Dr. M. Neela Devi ma'am, Associate Professor of our department, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, esteemed dignitaries, respected resource person, and dear participants. It is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion. Sir, I am audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. As we come to end of this session, I am filled with a great sense of gratitude. First and foremost, on behalf of the PG and Department of Economics, Thoothukudi, I extend our Honorable Secretary through APCB Chokkalingam his unwavering support in facilitating his approachability and on to knowledge sharing have fostered collaborative environment. Additionally, I extend my sincere thanks to our beloved principal for his constant encouragement for organizing this initiative. Both of your vision and commitment in fostering academic excellence are truly commendable. Thus, our deepest and most heartfelt appreciation goes to our esteemed resource person for today, Dr. Jyothi Sivagnanam. Your presentation on fiscal federalism in India, emerging challenges, was nothing but brilliant. You have an remarkable ability to distill complex and intricate concepts into clear, understandable, and engaged narrative. Your erudite discourse has armed us with new perspectives and a deeper knowledge of the subject. This session has definitely enriched each and everyone who participate live, and sir, I'm sure it will be invaluable resource to those who will listen to the recording later. Participants, moreover, I want to share one thing. Dr. Jyothi Sivagnanam sir was the external examiner for my PhD Viva. I had such a nice person. Thank you, sir, for gracing me with your time and invaluable insights. Most importantly, I thank all the participants. A program like this is only truly successful with the active engagement of its audience. Participants, your presence and active participation and insightful questions you posed not only enriched the discussion but also demonstrated the collective zeal of long-term learning. Finally, I would like to thank our Dr. Department, Dr. V. Valliammal, who is the pillar of our department, and his coordination with all the events in a smooth manner. Thank you, ma'am. My deepest and sincere thanks to the organizing secretary, Dr. M. Krishnan, for his efforts, commitment, and dedication for conducting this 5-day FDP. Thank you, sir. And I would like to thank all our department faculty members for their efforts. Dr. Karthikeyan, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Bakshirajan, Dr. Sudan, Dr. Krishnamurthy, Dr. Tirumadi, Dr. Rekha, and Dr. Rajkumar, and for their cooperation also. Thank you one and all. Once again, on behalf of our department, I thank each and everyone for your active participation, and I thank the resource person again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jyothi Sivagnanam, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Yes, madam. Yes.
I am Dr. Valliammal, head of the Department of Economics from V.O.CHIDAMBARAM College. Your presentation is excellent.
Okay.
We are gathering the many information to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Krishnan,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for the excellent vote of thanks. With this, we come to the conclusion of day 3 of our FDP. We look forward to meeting you all again tomorrow at 6 p.m. IST for day 4 of this program. Thank you all for your active participation. Wishing you a pleasant evening ahead. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Krishnan, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you,
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishnan, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishnan, sir.
So much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jyothi Sivagnanam, sir. You can leave. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.